got Joellen Rosenquist here with us today. Welcome back, Joellen.
Thank
It's
you.
time for the Off the Beaten Path. I have to look to make sure I get the words right. Off the Beaten Path studio tour.
Right. September
Gosh,
13th,
September
14th, and 15th.
And what are some? This is always a fun event.
It
Tell us how
is.
this works.
Well, basically what happened, now this year is something special because we do have an artist guide that we give to people. And it's also online this year.
Oh,
Because
okay.
sometimes it's hard to pick up. Here in Mountain Home, it's at the Baxter County Library. And in Calico, it's in Calico and Mountain View. But sometimes it's hard to get there. So you could at least get a preview, or you could print it out online.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it's on Facebook or on the offthebeatenpathstudiotour.com website. So what you do is, this book will tell you all the artists that are in it, and individually it'll give you a little insight into them, a little picture of their work, and tell you where they're located. And then we have a map that will also guide you through the tour. So what you do is you go online, you get the book either way, and you go through it, and it's a self-directed tour. So you go wherever you want to go, and so you pick where you want to go, and then you plan your route, and you do that, and you go there.
And it's a chance to see the artists in their home studio.
In their studios.
Working their craft.
Yes.
And all of the artists have things for sale or that you
They
can
do.
order, that
They
kind
have,
of thing?
Yeah. And that's what's unusual or special, I think, about it. You have to have a studio in order to get into the tour for the artists. And you actually get to see them in the place where they work. Their studios have to be non-commercial places. So it's just a working studio.
Okay.
Right.
And so you see where they work and where they're inspired, and you know, and that has a lot of meaning, I think, to getting a concept of their work.
We have 29, almost 30 different artists, and
Well, there's 40.
oh, I'm sorry.
And well, and
29
actually
here.
it's confusing because there's
oh,
I think 28 studios.
Oh, 28 studios,
with
okay.
40 artists this year.
So some
oh,
people
okay.
share studios? Or
Well,
the-
Ray and I have two different studios. He does the
There you
ironwork,
go.
but it's in one building, and my studio is separate from his.
Oh, okay.
Or like Pam and Ed Alexander, again, it's the same kind of concept. David and Becky Dahlstead. So sometimes the people work together, or they have two different things.
Do you have any new artists that this is
We
the
have
first
some new
year?
artists. I know Claire Cresto is a stained glass artist, and she's in Calico Rock area. And there are another new artist. I just can't bring it up right now. Can't think of who they are. But people come and go too. People who have been in the tour in the past sometimes take a leave of absence, and then they come back again. So then, you know, for another tour. So the numbers change.
And you've got every kind of artist imaginable. You
so
mentioned the iron
Yeah,
works.
there's a couple of iron workers.
Okay.
There's Ray Warren, and he's like up in Pineville by me with my studio. And actually we have Ed Alexander and Pat Thompson, who teaches at the Folk Center. We have woodworkers, a number of woodworkers. Claire Cresto is the only stained glass artist, I believe. We have quite a few potters, a broom maker, a weaver. We have an author and a storyteller.
Oh,
Oh,
So he not
wow.
only writes the book, but he tells stories.
Oh, how fun.
So if you go to their studio, they'll read from their book.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a weaver, that's kind of a lost art when you think about
Yeah.
it. So that's unique.
Yeah, and a chair maker. Owen Rain is a really unique artist. He makes baskets and furniture. His rocking chairs are beautiful, and he actually cuts his own wood, the white oak,
Oh, wow.
for the
Okay.
furniture and the baskets. So, and he's over by Guyan. But also, what we're really excited about this year is over in our area, in Calico Rock, Pineville, we have 5 artists in the studio tour.
Oh,
And so we're only like 20 miles from Mountain Home.
Right.
So you could start there even. You know, we have Ray and I, and then we have Doris Fountain, who's a folk artist. She does some wonderful pieces, pumpkins and the Santas and some cats. She does a lot of fabric art. And then we have Claire Cresto and Barbara Carlson. And Barbara she does fabric. She calls them quilts, but a lot of them are hangings, and they're just fantastic. Barbara is very, very creative and actually well known. She had some of her work in Mark Pryor's office. She's been in the Arkansas Historic Museum Quilters exhibit, and she's really wonderful, and she has stories often that go with her quilts. I think we have some pictures of hers later, maybe. But
Now you do silver work.
Right.
You're a silversmith, I guess,
Uh-huh.
and you build jewelry.
Right.
Do you do anything other than jewelry?
No, pretty much just
Pretty much just
jewelry.
jewelry, huh?
In my beginning in it too, and this is where you get the personal side of it with people. I started in New Mexico in 1975. I had been doing artwork all my life. I went to the Art Institute of Chicago, but a Navajo artist took me in as an apprentice, and so it was a great experience. I mean, I washed floors and made lunch and whatever I had to do for a long period of time, but it was a really unique experience. And when you come to my studio, you'll see that I really don't have very many fancy tools at all. I mean, I have pliers and a grinder and a few things. But
Is this because you were taught that way with
Yeah.
less tools?
their procedure is really amazing for the amount. You've seen Navajo work, the squash blossoms and all the things that they can do. And it's amazing what you can put out with that, with the simple tools.
So what do you do when you see people with these modern tools? Do you ever use them or try to use them? Or?
Actually, it's quite. I'm like a kid with a Sears Roebuck catalog when we were
Oh,
kids.
okay, yeah.
It's like a tool book to me. Is like, oh wow, what does that
wow.
do?
Yeah.
So mostly it's like things like pliers or sanders or something that's more unique to me. Like when I started, they used needle nose pliers for like turning,
Right.
making
Right.
little curls in the silver and stuff. I never even knew what round nose pliers were or
Okay.
flat nose pliers.
So you had to use what you had.
Yes,
Yeah,
but today it's like, oh, these round nose
Wow.
pliers are great,
Yeah,
or flat nose pliers.
What an experience, though, to be able to learn it firsthand
Yes,
from
it
a
was.
Native American and
I was very fortunate.
carry
with
that talent on for generations.
Yes, yeah.
Do
it
you
was
ever have
great.
people that want to do as you did, become an apprentice?
I do
or-
actually.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually do. I used to teach. I haven't taught in a long time. I'm getting older, and I would really like to pass my craft on. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I've had people before that have worked for me or something like that. It's really difficult because you spend a lot of time teaching people, and it's a long process.
Right.
Sure.
So I'm not sure how quite to do that. I might teach again. I've thought of having maybe a couple people come to my studio and teach them
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But I do have
absolutely.
people ask me
Yeah.
that quite a bit.
Well, you
fun.
gave us a bunch of pictures. I think we
Yes.
probably should go through there, and maybe you could
Yeah.
just narrate
Sure.
what we're looking at.
Yeah,
If Gil wants to rack some of that up and
I sent
take a
quite
look
few.
at that.
Now, speaking of turquoise, I've cut some. I had a really huge amount of turquoise, and I just cut these for the show, and I'm putting them in silver.
Do you cut them and then tumble them?
No,
to smooth them,
actually,
or-
it's a big machine that
Oh,
I have
okay.
at the shop.
I'm glad you're cutting
It's
me out of the
raw
shop. there. I like
turquoise
that.
too, which is just about. It's very rare.
Really?
Most turquoise has plastic in it. It's called stabilized, and they inject plastic
Oh,
into
like
it.
it-
yeah.
Or sometimes they
They-
grind it up into a powder,
Oh.
and they put epoxy in it. There's the rough turquoise in the front.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can see how I put the turquoise on this stick,
Uh-huh.
a dowel rod, so that I could turn. These
Wow.
machines turn, the wheels turn, and I like roll it through there.
Oh,
Kind
okay.
of like,
okay.
I guess, a
Is that a
woodworker.
soft material?
Turquoise is very soft.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
It can be gemstone quality. It can be a very hard material too, and of course at that point it's gemstone.
Okay. Okay.
Now
And where do-
Arkansas has some turquoise.
Okay. I was
Really?
going to say
I didn't know
it must
that.
be prevalent out west though.
It is.
Lot
It
more
is.
of that, yeah.
But here in Arkansas, it's for very poor quality, unfortunately.
Really?
It's very light, so they do stabilize it. But
But that's just a natural.
that's a natural.
Wow.
The girl who taught me, she was very into natural. It was like, you will never use anything else.
Yeah.
Or we will come and haunt you. It's like, you have to use natural turquoise. So.
So pretty.
We had
Yeah.
I think that was a sun. Is that a sundial?
Now that's a piece of
just
raised
a piece.
work.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's very large. That's like 5-6 feet tall.
That's like a yard ornament.
Yeah, it's like a sphere.
And this
And-
is your
Yeah,
your
my
partner.
partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he brought this last year.
I was gonna
Something
say.
similar
Yes,
to
it
this.
was something.
saw.
He's making quite a few spheres.
Okay.
And actually, he has a really big one that's sitting in a crescent moon, and it spins.
Oh.
Oh
And that's outside. There are a lot of outdoor
Uh-huh.
pieces. He has some smaller ones.
Okay.
He's really into planetary things too. He's making Saturns that hang with
Oh.
the
wow.
ball with the ring, you know,
Yeah.
that you hang
Right.
up, and stars and a lot of things
Oh,
like
wow.
that. He has some
That's
neat stuff.
unique.
Yeah, yeah. He has some neat work. Well, that's a pair of my earrings. And so
That's
I cut
pretty.
the oak shape out of a plate of silver. And so that's sterling silver. That's a piece of Claire Cresto's work over in
How
Calico
pretty.
Rock. The stained glass.
That's another lost art kind of. You don't really see just a
Yeah.
lot of stained glass
Right.
workers anymore.
And there's a piece of Barbara Carlson's. That's called Spring, I believe. And that's like the plants growing. Her pieces are just wild and colorful
Is
and
that
wonderful.
the fabric?
That's fabric, yes. And that she
Wow.
calls them, they're hangings, but they're quilts
Uh-huh.
too. They're made like a quilt.
Okay.
And that's Judy Munn, who's actually just outside of Calico Rock. We wanted to tell people that
That's pretty.
the best way to come around from Mountain Home actually is to come over the dam down 177. And if you come that way, you could hit all those 5 artists in Pineville, Calico
Okay.
Rock. And then as you go down 5, the first studio you'd hit would be Judy Munn's pottery too.
Okay.
After that.
And you really need the map to
Oh,
to
yeah.
help you.
Yes, we have
navigate
signs
yourself.
out. But,
Okay.
You know,
All right.
it's good to have the map for sure.
Okay.
What are that?
Oh,
there's
that's one of
some
my
more.
rings.
So, and the thing about all this kind of stuff, I'm sure it's like it's not mass produced, so
No.
every piece is going to be just, even though you use a pattern probably. But
No pattern.
No pattern?
Actually, I don't
Okay.
even draw things. I don't know why. I guess that's how I was taught
You
to.
just see it up here in your mind?
Not even. I just kind of create it with, it's like the silver is my material, is my drawing, is my pencil. I don't know how to explain it, but I just start working.
So every piece will be just a little
They
bit
are
different.
different. They're all different. And actually, the process demands it. I make wedding rings. And so consider even a size 10 and a size 3.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And we want them to match, kind of. But even if they were closer, I can get them pretty kind of sort
But they're
of
not.
close.
They're not stamped out. As
No,
yeah.
not at all. Each
Yeah.
piece is really individual.
They look
and I
very unique, yeah.
really have to make an effort to make them look similar. I really do.
Which is tough when you have a creative mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Interesting.
is.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
No creative person wants to be put in that box.
No. That's Owen Rain's
look,
rocking
that's
chair.
nice.
Owen's over at Guyan. There's one of
Oh,
Ray
okay.
Saturn's.
That's nice. I like those.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
neat.
basket by Owen Rain. And that's Maria Smith. That's a glass bead and bead earrings. And she's down by Fox. I think Dahlstead Pottery there. They're in Mountain View. Joe Bruin Pottery. He has a wood-fired kiln. And that's a huge piece, too. Makes really large pieces. That's
how pretty.
her name is Kin Yun. And she never painted before. She moved to Arkansas in 2009, and now she produces like crazy, and she's
Oh,
just
yes.
wonderful.
Look at that.
Her pieces
Wow.
are gorgeous. Another piece of mine, that's amethyst beads on a silver piece. That's a pendant. Those are Doris Fountain. She's in Pineville, and that's her pumpkins out of chenille.
Okay.
Aren't those
Oh
fun?
my goodness.
Yeah.
Fabric. Okay.
Yeah. My earrings, Ivy. Talking about duplicates. Oh, well, that's Barbara Carlson again, called Wild. Ray, that's one of his moons, and it goes in the ground, and it can be a trellis too. So you could,
Oh.
have your plants go up that, and it's kind of neat. That's one of Ray's. He calls it Cool Cat. And that's Claire's, another
Stained glass,
dragonfly. There's one of my bird pendants. Another of my pendant with garnet and jade.
Gosh.
I love
so
garnet and
pretty.
jade together. The colors. And Doris's cats. I love those. She's our folk artist in Pineville. Another one of Barbara's. I love that piece. That's gorgeous.
There's something for every single kind of taste, whether
There
you have a more
is.
contemporary or a more
Yeah.
natural kind of taste or anything
Absolutely.
in between. So
Yeah.
fun.
Well,
Yeah.
this event takes place September 13th, 14th, and 15th,
That's right.
and you almost need a guidebook,
do
and
need it.
you can go online and get this at the Off the Beaten Path. You can go to Ozark Gateway, and there's the map there. You can go to the Off the Beaten Path Tour.com.
Studio.
Off the Beaten
Tour.
I
Path
know, it's just
Studio
a long one.
Tour.com. Sorry, and that will give you all the information that's in this book, plus the map. And I would recommend you print the map out.
Yeah, now it
and
comes
take it
with
with
the
you.
book if you get the book.
Oh, okay.
And the book's online with the map,
With the map,
and everything.
right.
So you could print it online, or you can go to the library here and you can pick up a copy of that, or in Calico, or actually at our studios. I will have some of these if you can
Okay.
make it down there.
Okay.
If you could find
Yeah,
me,
sure.
I could give you some. So,
Well, I'm sure that every artist has these in
Yes,
possession. So
yes.
if you get to the first one, they can
Yes.
get you to the next one.
but it's wonderful they're online this year. I
Okay.
think that'll make it a lot
Yeah,
easier.
hopefully it will
What
be.
are the hours?
Oh,
By the way,
okay, on Friday the 13th, it's from 9 till 6, and Saturday 9 to 6, and then Sunday, I think it's noon till 5.
so plenty of time the whole weekend to.
And you know what? You can't do the whole tour. There's no way that you could do the whole
Yeah.
tour in one weekend.
Yeah.
You really
But
have to plan it and
Also,
plan where you go.
also it says here is that they have a artist reception party
Yes, on Friday night.
from 7 to 9 p.m.
in Mountain View.
In Mountain View. So
Yes.
if you want to go to that,
Mm-hmm.
you can enjoy that.
So we have a lot going on.
Gosh.
Joellen, thanks so much.
It's been good
Did we
being
cover
here
everything?
again.
Did we cover everything?
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
I hope so.
Well,
Good luck with your tour again this
Oh,
year.
I
It's
hope you
always a
guys
fun
come see me.
event.
This is a great kickoff tour for Christmas presents. So if
Yes,
you're wanting
it is.
unique things that no one else, that you
That's
can't buy
right.
at Walmart,
Yeah.
you know, that you're going to open a gift and get 2 or 3 of them, this will be a very
That's
unique
right.
piece.
That's it.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you
appreciate
so
it very
much.
much,
I
and good luck
appreciate ya.
on this year.
Good seeing you.
Okay, thanks.
Up next, who do we have?
Jennifer Batzel from Good Samaritan Society.
Okay, stay with us.
All right.